like, before we get into it, this is just Slick J from 22K Production. I just want you just to state your name.
Oh, okay.
And like, yeah, because I just didn't want you to get into it. Cause
my name is Rashad Black. You can follow me at Rashad Black Art.
Let's go.
On Instagram. This is my merch. I'm an artist and also I create clothing. So this right here is one of my designs. It's called Fireworks. And this here, I actually created for my man Rodney. Some super cool little things for his, fans to go away with. But yeah, I'm a Miami artist. I do abstract art.
You only work for Miami? What about Broward? No love for Broward?
You know what? Actually, my studio's in Broward.
Okay.
In Hollandale in Gulfstream.
Okay, okay.
So, but it's amazing to express myself. I believe that everybody has individuality. Everybody wants to, stand out. And my art, my clothing, it does that.
I'll say working in Doral.
Oh, it's great.
It's great, dude.
That is great.
It's our second time here, and I feel like tonight was better than the first.
The comedy show.
I love physics.
Bro, I walked up here.
He is your too, so make sure to put that in.
I'm speaking Spanish. I told them on the way up I'm speaking Spanish the whole day. I'm telling you.
Feel good, baby.
Yes.
I know nobody else paying attention, but I'm paying attention.
Yeah, we're savages.
Yeah.
We don't care if you're 13. We'll make fun of you.
That's right.
Yeah, Broadway is back.
Finally. It's been way too long.
Yeah.
I have an idea. Let's catch a musical.
Babe, that's an awesome idea.
How about this one?
Now that one's got a great cast, but the music, I wasn't feeling it.
How about that one?
Now that one's got an amazing choreographer, awesome spectacle, but I don't know, the music just didn't do it for me.
I got it. Rock of Ages.
Now that's a great show, but that lead guy, not so much. You know what? I got a great idea.
I'm wise, but you've got to see. It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Oh, his bad.
Frozen. I'm waiting for the applause. I'm waiting for the applause. Thank you. Thank you, my gente. Gracias, my gente. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. And, we are sometimes in slow motion.
It's all good.
Things happen.
We're starting up TikTok. Ooh.
Oh, we're starting a TikTok?
Oh.
No, I asked for a TikTok. Then I asked for a Tic Tac.
You asked for a Tic Tac with a C, and they're like, no, it's a
So
K.
they tell me I spelled it wrong.
Shocker.
And then I spelled it again, and they said that's still wrong.
Surprise again.
And then I did it again. And they said, why don't you just give up?
It's got a K. They say not a C.
Well, whatever. They know what I want. I would like to do a
Tic
TikTok.
Tac.
TikTok.
You think TikTok took his name from Tic Tacs?
Absolutely.
Interesting, right? What's a tick?
It's a specimen from a deer.
Actually, did you see they're actually having a problem with the ticks because they are drinking way too much of the blood of the moose because of global warming. The ticks are out longer, 6 weeks longer than normal, and it's really harming the moose community. Don't laugh at me. It's true. It's a fact. I was watching the story on that. They drink... Stop it. It's true. The ticks are drinking a lot of moose blood, and it's jeopardizing the moose population.
I read about that in...
Can you imagine? That's like a David and Goliath story. Think about it. The little tick versus the moose.
The little tick
What's in my coffee is all I ask
I
you.
don't know.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. But yes, it's a true David and the Goliath. The tick versus the moose.
Listen, I wanted to quickly bring up the fact, another Dawn fact. We did the morning show from the radio station, thanks to Beasley and Jody. They gave us a slot this morning because I wanted to do the New World Order. So what happened was I had this whole thing different for the New World Order. And you come out with the condom question of the day.
Telling you.
So I didn't realize everybody writing in, screaming at me. Dawn is right. Dawn is right. Dawn is right. I didn't even remember saying half the things they accused me of.
Well, we were discussing, because apparently California has just ruled it illegal for, let's say, gentlemen to remove their condoms during sexual intercourse.
Well, that's not the problem.
Without consent.
But that's right. If you don't have consent.
Without consent. It is now illegal in the state of California. And Wisconsin is now saying that is considered sexual abuse, is what they're trying to pass.
And since this morning, 4 other states have joined into this.
Yep, they're saying 48 states are going to join on this.
So I just have a question.
Yes?
And Hallie Leese, I'm posing this question to Hallie Leese, the world famous psychic, on Saturdays. Give her a quick plug at 4:30. I got a question. When you are going to have sex with a woman in these states, should you have your attorney present in the room?
You should
just
always
to protect
have
the guys.
100% consent.
I know, but a guy may need to.
Here's the thing: you need consent before, during, and I guess after. Now it's not just premeditated.
So let me get this right. If I'm going in to do the business,
you got to keep it on.
I'm supposed to get consent.
Of course.
Okay, and if I get into the business, normally means I got consent.
Just don't take your condom off.
Don't take your condom off.
Correct.
Is that like a new slogan?
How about that? Hashtag wear your mask. Don't take your condom off.
So when you get dressed in the morning, you put your clothes on, your
JR,
mask on.
and I've got a new piece of art for you. Hashtag wear your mask. Keep your condom on. Keep everything covered.
This is getting, Hallie, this is getting more exciting. As you need an attorney present, and then you got to make sure it's the right condom.
I got to tell you, it's amazing what has to go into the legal arena these days.
It's amazing. A legal arena. Your attorney, a priest, and a rabbi all in the same room. You know this joke?
Please share. The attorney says yes,
Pass.
you're 100%.
I thought I saw everything, but this is just getting crazier and
A
crazier.
whole another level. So happy Tuesday, everyone. Thank you again to Beasley. We got to air live today on WNN 9 a.m. on the radio hour, which is really pretty cool. But for between all the politics and stock market news that you would ever want to know.
That's right. We actually talk condoms. It's funny because I wanted to do New World Order about how to change morning drive at some of these talk stations, because what they do is that they talk about stocks. They talk about stocks again and talk about stocks some more. How much can you talk about stocks?
I know, I can tell you taxes are due on Friday, though.
What?
If you filed an extension on your personal taxes, they are due on Friday.
The first time I didn't file an extension, I actually paid.
Nice.
Oh yeah, real nice. You want to pay it for me?
Don't even go there. I know. I
could have
get you.
sent them condoms.
I
Now,
get
I
ya.
got some breaking news. I heard that the Biden administration wants to go in and put some kind of legalities towards Bitcoin.
Interesting.
Now, you heard about the coins have no federal
Regulations,
involvement,
right.
no regulations. Now they want to regulate it because they're using Bitcoin for illegal activities.
Because it's unregulated.
Right. So people are using Bitcoin for different, how do you say, like when you
Different
capture
transactions.
somebody's computer,
Ransom?
ransomware? Bitcoin. Latest is the two people who tried to sell our secrets, the Navy sub secrets, to a wannabe Russian spy who turned out to be an FBI agent.
I feel it's a movie you just watched on Saturday night.
That's right, the James Bond movie.
Someone
Too
told
Young
me
to
this
Die.
morning that apparently you're her new Bond movie connoisseur.
That's right, that's my TSA expert.
What is that?
That means that what are they talking about? That means that if you're going to the movies and see the James Bond flick, and I don't want to let the ending out because the ending is tremendous.
Yeah.
You got to go to the movies at Del Rey, because there you get $6 tickets. You sit in the chair.
There's
it's
a bar,
safe.
right? There's beer and wine. There's popcorn.
There's beer, there's
everything.
wine, there's popcorn, there's hot dogs. You ever smell a hot dog in a movie theater?
It's like baseball park, right?
Delicious. Better, because a baseball park, it evaporates.
Nice.
But in this place, it's all there.
Yeah, someone told me this morning you're her new Bond
That's right.
man.
Me, I am the
How
new.
about you? Freddie's a new Bond man,
I'm
guys.
the new James Bond guy. No, I'm not going to bail
Let's
you out
do
of
a
jail. Wait a
poll.
minute.
Let's do it.
Wait a minute. Don't say that, because people think I'm going
I
to
don't
bond
mean
them
that.
out.
I mean like the James Bond. You're like their new James Bond man.
I'm not no James Bond man, but
That's
the movie.
what she meant.
No, she wants to see the James Bond movie.
Yes.
So what we want to do, what I want to do, first I should get permission. But I think I'll do it anyway and then beg for forgiveness. I would like to do a first responder thank you, because I don't think we do enough of that. And I know that our medical people are exhausted. I get it. TSA is my new connection. And I want to invite the first responders out to the movie theater and show them some love.
I think you should. I think it's a great idea. And she said she was all in to.
She's going to spread the word. We got to do more for those. Can you imagine where we would be without the nurses, nurse practitioners, and the doctors today?
You know what I was watching this morning, that the police department, huge incidence of COVID illness and COVID death, because they are frontline, running right into the population to do what they need to do to protect everyone. A lot of them have gone unvaccinated, and unfortunately, they have a high death rate among, I guess, percentage-wise, because they're unvaccinated. Why, I don't understand. Personal preference, I guess, but they are passing away. So they're trying to really bring awareness to getting people vaccinated.
That's right. And there are shortages everywhere, people who refuse to take the vaccine, and there are mandates coming out. There are shortages. I got the vaccine early. It did not have any effect on me. You did as well. You've always been a cuckoo's nest no matter what. But the object of the game, here is that Kevin Fryer from the Brooklyn Nets has refused to get the shot, and New York City has a mandate. So he is giving up $15.6 million of his salary. He will not be playing a home game. He will be only on the road. And when they go to, I don't know, San Francisco or whatever the other one is that has it, he won't be playing there either. And The team is respecting
honey.
that wish. And again,
She ran a great show this morning, Cracker Barrel. So thank you, Valerie, for doing that.
yeah. And again, it is what it is. But you see how
Southwest Airlines, we spoke to her today. They're still canceling more flights today.
They don't have enough pilots. They don't have enough people.
It's interesting because we were talking to one of our producers who has another job in the mall, and normally this is hiring season for the holidays,
Yep.
right? This is massive hiring. And they're wondering why, this corporate store is wondering why they are so low on getting new hires and new resumes. They thought maybe their ad was wrong. That's not it. Everyone is low on hiring, whether it be corporate, small business, mom and pop
Why do you
setup
think
stores.
that is?
That's what I don't understand, because they've stopped unemployment to bring people back out to work.
Yeah.
And that's according to Slick, they're not wanting to go to work because they're not making at least $15 an hour. So they're holding out for the better paying jobs.
Okay.
So I don't know, are you better off making nothing while you're waiting for the 15? Or are you better off making something? I guess everyone is independently independent here.
Well, what's going to happen is when the holidays come and you ain't been working and you sitting home wondering why I didn't go to work, what's going to happen then? And I get it. You know, if you deserve 15, you deserve 15. And the bottom line here is, how can the whole world stand still of employment? How does that work?
I don't know. I don't understand it. It's a whole different mindset to what's going on.
More self-made entrepreneurs have entered the market in the last 2 years than in the history of
Which
this
I think
country.
is really great. There's a lot of people doing their passion. What do we say when your passion meets its purpose? When your purpose meets its passion, then you know you're in a good place. That's what Todd Schumacher said yesterday. When purpose meets passion.
It's true. And you know something, there's a lot of companies out there now that are willing to help you and grow you and do you and this and this and that. But look at the companies that have been there the longest. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but we've been here a real long time. We've helped people grow and go. It's really funny how when the pandemic started, I had everybody knocking at the door. Obviously, you can't open it to everybody. You sort of filtered what you could do. And everybody made something happen. I don't think one person we had lost money during the 2 years, right? And now everybody's getting invited everywhere else because things are opening up.
It's okay.
But they're not doing anything.
It's all good. We've got a new sponsor joining us today, a new friend and family of the Brooklyn Cafe. We've got Justin Mooney, Esquire. And let's take a commercial break. When we come back, let's talk to Justin. He's got a lot of great information about wills, estates, probate, and what he does representing the Florida office of HHNK.
Good
So
stuff.
stay tuned. Give us a call with any questions, 888-994-4995, Studio A. And we'll be right back.
Amp Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock, nonstop, to promote over 500 shows and businesses with added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422.
Precious Treasure Gourmet Foods thinks so because she single-handedly updated and expanded butter's possibilities. From compound, savory, sweet, and spicy, her freshly made butters aim to please. I don't know about you, but I've never really seen butter this versatile before, and now so feasible. With online shopping, just visit Precious Treasures Gourmet Foods.com because at Precious Treasures, Tori is working on the best artisan gourmet foods to every table. Remember, guys, true love is like butter. There's no substitute for the real thing.
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke? If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation, staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Since 9 years old, Gina Presser has created enchanting, whimsical art. She conjures pieces from real stories and artistically expresses the feelings had from them. Achieved with Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clays. Her eccentric finishing touch is her glittery diamond dust cascaded across her paintings and pottery. Gina Presser also hosts weekend art camps, teaching adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. Her work can be found in multiple staging homes, family Christian bookstores, and in New Jersey boutiques. For more information, Gina can be reached at livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or by phone at 954-857-5444.
You'll see on the show. With our brew crew on set, we always air live to inspire, educate, and create. Make it a date and have a day at the cafe. Join Don and Freddie every weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. and for lunch every weekday from 12 to 2. Amplify your voice. Call us at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at brooklyncafe.tv.
Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. We are back.
So we were talking about some legal things, but let's get into the real meat and potatoes of what we've got going on today. We've got Justin Mooney of Hinman, Howard, and Kattell. HH and K is a whole lot easier, Justin, right, than Hinman, Howard, and Kattell.
Yeah.
Main office is based out of New York?
Yes.
All right, and you are part of their Florida Council.
Yes, I am.
Tell us about the office here in Florida and what you do.
So in the office, it's in Boynton Beach, I handle the tax planning, the estate planning, and the probate and trust administration.
And what does that mean?
Mainly the tax side is tax controversy when people run into issues with the IRS. The IRS says they owe money or they can't pay it right away. We figure out, what went wrong, or we try to get them into a payment plan. The other side of tax planning is mainly with regard to the current estate tax, which is $11.7 million. And we help people look at ways that they can avoid paying the 40% tax when they die. If you don't have that much money, you don't have anything to worry about. It's a good problem to have, though.
How much money?
$11.7 million per person. So if you're married and you have, a little under $23 million with your spouse, you don't have to worry about it either.
Just once you hit, the collective 23 million married, that you got to worry about it.
So if I got $11 million or below, I have to pay the 40%?
No, you don't.
No.
You don't. So it's the other way around.
So
Oh,
let's
good,
say
I'm
you
safe.
You
have,
made him a little nervous right there, Justin. He's like,
No,
huh?
Yeah.
I'm nervous, yes.
Let's say you had $12.7 million. That $1 million over that amount, you'd be paying $400,000. Your estate would be paying $400,000 of the estate tax.
The 12 minus the 11.
Yeah.
The difference?
Yes.
Sigh of relief for you, right?
So hold on a second. Is that new? Because I remember there used to be estate tax no matter what you left behind.
No, it's been going on for a significantly long time. But back in, I think, the 90s, the limit was around 600,000.
Correct.
And it's slowly been increased. And with the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that President Trump introduced, it doubled the amount. So I think back in 2017 it was around 5.5 million, and so right after it just doubled it per person.
It makes it a huge difference.
It is huge.
Yeah.
Because that includes the value of real estate, cars, and all that?
All that stuff?
Yes.
And who assesses the value of all that?
So generally how it works in the estate administration is we'll work with the personal representative, who is the representative of the estate, also known as the executor. They go out, they get valuations for properties, or they do the Kelley Blue Book for the cars. For the bank accounts, they just look at what the value was and the date of death, and then the stocks, you do the average, high and low for the day. And then you calculate it all, and then you report it to the IRS on the 706 form, and you pay what's owed, and hopefully you get a closing letter 9 months later. If not, you have to wait until they finish their review of it. I've had a few cases where they open it up for audit, and you have to, explain it to them a second time in more detail, and then they understand.
But that's for 11.7 million and above.
Yes. But I got a question.
Okay.
Before you go there. If the IRS, the people that do this work are all over the country now, right? So these are professionals in homes, and they get a case and they dissect it.
Yeah.
And then, okay. So my question is this. If I got somebody in Iowa who believes the Kelley Blue Book value of my Cadillac is X, and if you look at my Cadillac, it ain't worth X minus Z minus Y squared. So how do you, if you don't believe or you don't agree with the assessment, how do you, is it itemized so you can say, no, you're wrong?
Yeah, so what happens is you have an itemized, you have all these different schedules on the 706 return. You have automobiles, you have real estate, you have stocks, and you break it down. So if, let's say you had, $11.7 million of cash, and then the one thing that they're arguing over is the car or something else that has significant value. Generally, what would happen is if you disagree with it, the IRS might obtain a independent appraiser to look at it and give a value, and then you would do the same thing. And if you can't, because generally these appraisers, they don't take sides. They just look at, they take into account all the things. And if there's, a disagreement, you can, say to the IRS, let's split the difference or something. And at worst case scenario, you'll have to go to tax court, and the court will decide.
Do you work with all IRS claims if people if they're being audited, or if they have issues, even if it's under and it not dealing with this type of estate tax?
So you're talking about income tax, like if they have income tax issues. Yeah, I've worked on income tax audits before, and the biggest thing is the collection side for me is, I'll have someone that is making $30,000 a year. Mainly because of the pandemic, you'd have people that were making a lot more money. Maybe they reported things wrong on their taxes, and now they owe hundreds of thousands. And then right now, with the pandemic, they're at the poverty level. There's a lot of different payment plans that you can do. There's the best option is called an offer and compromise. It's basically telling the IRS, look at the amount of debt I have, look at the disposable income I have. I'm never going to be able to pay this within the statute of limitations. Give me a break. That's kind of the best case scenario when we have clients that have income tax liability issues.
So that's an unbelievable point. So if, say, you are when the pandemic hit 2020, right? Everyone's 2020 taxes are now due by Friday.
Right.
If you can't afford that because what you earned maybe in 2020 and then you lost your job, you don't have the money to pay those taxes back. If you were, say, self-employed and it wasn't like a W-2 situation, they can contact you and you can do this offer and compromise?
Depending on the circumstances. The big question is, or the big issue is convincing the IRS, my client is never going to be able to pay this back within the statute of limitations that they're required to. So we'll give you a lump sum now, or pay you over 2 years, and then we get rid of the rest of the debt owed and get a clean slate. It's kind of like a miniature bankruptcy. Think about it in that way.
Well, that's going to be your next stop if you don't have any money.
Yeah.
Because you got spanked by the coronavirus.
Well, and I guess the thing is, if you don't do an offer in compromise or come to an agreement with the IRS, they can go in and access the funds in your bank account, right?
Yeah,
and
they'll just start garnishing. They can garnish your wages, or they can put a lien on your property or levy it and actually seize the property and then sell it. And yeah, that's an awful scenario.
So it's not like you can just not pay them.
Well, hold on. If they're talking about they're piercing the corporate rail, is that what they're doing? They're going from a business, let's say it's a business deal, and they can go right into your personal property.
No. So with garnishing the property, that's just with your employer. Okay. They'll say they provide them with documents and they say they owe this amount, so give us a portion of their paycheck, and that's garnishment. And then for levying the property, that's where they actually go to the bank or to seize the property and then sell it. They're not really piercing a corporate veil. That's a little bit different of an issue. Like if you're using your LLC for, as a personal piggy bank rather than using it for legitimate purposes, then there's some a little bit more complex issues to get into.
Can they go after your future worth? Say you don't have a house.
Yeah.
You lease a car.
Yeah.
And you don't got any money in the bank.
Yeah.
Because the virus really did a number on you. You couldn't get PPP. You're trying to do the best you can, and you can prove that you're trying to stay open. Can they assess future realistic values? Like, let's say we get a big contract next year, January 1st. Will they work with you with something in the future?
Yeah. I mean, so that's the big part of the offer and compromise is they're looking at right now, taking into account all things, will you be able to pay this back in, 1 to 10 years is generally the time period that you're looking at. And if it can't be paid within 10 years, which is the longest time they have to collect, then they'll say, we'll do the offer and compromise. You pay us this lump sum or you pay us the maximum amount you can. And then so long as you don't make any additional mistakes coming up in the additional years, then the liability will be forgiven.
Because some companies...
It's one entity you do not want to mess with is the IRS.
But unfortunately, the last 3 years, the last 2.5 years, it's become a different scenario. Back then, before everything started, if you were making money and you got to pay. But then this thing comes along. Some companies are just heavy with overhead. They have too much money invested around them because they never expected this to happen. So they were sort of playing the long game and thought they would catch up to get rid of some of the overhead over the years, right? Depreciation, things of that nature. You get caught in the trap, and all of a sudden your overhead is eating your business, and you're not making enough, and now you have an IRS problem, which is the last thing in the world you want to have.
Yeah.
Because these guys never forget. It's not like a loan shark and say, okay, you know what, it's been 10 years, go away. It doesn't work that way. You're going to get stuck in the juice. So do you offer, if you have companies out there, people that are listening today, if they're overhead heavy, then maybe they should come talk to you to see what plan of action you should do, because I'm going to tell you something, it's going to break it. You can deny it all you want, but you're going to get hit sooner or later. You can't hold the burden of no money coming in and all this overhead and trying to keep things afloat. That's why people have side hustles, 3 jobs, and they're out working midnight to 6.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that would be good if my clients actually knew they were in trouble before actually getting in trouble. One of the biggest problems is
denying.
Yeah, they start getting these notices in the mail that says, you owe hundreds of $1,000s in back taxes. And then I'm like, can you provide me with all your documents? And then they just have this big banker box full of paperwork, not organized in any way. And it's just a real headache to go through. And if I can't understand it right off the bat, it's going to be hard to convince the IRS of that. A lot of people think that that the IRS is just trying to bleed you dry. But most of the time, if you can convince them that, this is, a reasonable expense, or it's reasonable that they're never going to get paid back based on this person not being able to make enough money or this company not making enough money, they're usually pretty agreeable. I mean, I've had a few times where a very memorable time was with a revenue officer. They said that the company was more profitable than it was because they were looking at the tax return, which we were only deducting interest from loans on there, rather than them taking into account the principal payments, which don't show up on the tax return. And we're like, no, they're actually paying a lot more. They don't have as much cash flow as you think they have. And, sometimes you have to just escalate it to their manager. But most of the time, they're pretty easy to deal with. It's all about just communication with the IRS.
And the one thing that Justin's going to do, he's going to cross his T's, dot his I's, make sure everything is signed, sealed, and delivered. So you can't say, oh, I spoke to Mr. X yesterday at the IRS, but I didn't get his phone number, I don't have his extension, I don't have anything written, and you call back the next day, you get a letter the next month, and you think you took care of it, and there's no documentation unless you provide it. And that I know Justin Mooney will take care of.
Yeah, you need to have that paper trail.
What about that paper trail,
Yeah.
right?
It's amazing. It always amazes me when the IRS says, listen, you owe this because what we see, and they're looking at something that took them to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person comes in and says, well, here are all my records. So how did they report what they reported unless they just threw up a number in the air? You got to have a paper trail somewhere. You have to have an explanation somewhere. And if it sounds legit, he's going to tell you. Now, if you don't think you're in trouble, let me save you heartache. If you think that maybe you're in trouble, you want to call this guy. I'm being very honest. If you think that maybe you may have an issue, you want to call this guy. You'd rather be safe than sorry. If you think you're in the clear, and God bless you, you keep going.
I think the denial is probably the worst with a lot of things.
Yeah.
With whether you're talking IRS questions and you haven't paid your taxes, and instead of waking up every night or not sleeping with this pit in your stomach, you don't know what to do because it's looming, it's coming.
Yeah.
Call Justin. Same thing with estate planning that I want to talk about when we get back from commercial break. As we talk to Wayne every Friday, everyone will pass away at some point. That is 100% guaranteed. So put your estate plan together to protect all the money and all the assets that you've worked for, so it goes where you want it to go, whether it be to charity, to loved ones, to family, wherever it is. Let's talk about the estate planning when we get back from commercial break. But before that, how do people reach out to you?
They can either email me at jmooney@hhk.com, or they can call the office line, which is 561-276-1008.
Tell the number again.
It's 561-276-1008.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break. More with Justin Mooney from H18K. The girls from the office, by the way, say hello.
Great.
Stay tuned. He may work comp on this one. We'll be right back.
What is wrong with your feet?
Here at the Brooklyn Cafe, our subjects range from hot topics, feel-good stories, and back-in-the-day nostalgia. With guest personalities and business features, you just never know who you'll see on the show. With our brew crew on set, we always air live to inspire, educate, and create. Make it a date and have a day at the cafe. Join Dawn and Freddie every weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. and for lunch every weekday from 12 to 2. Amplify your voice. Call us at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at brooklyncafe.tv.
With enough butter, anything is good. Tori Wells from Precious Treasure Gourmet Foods thinks so because she single-handedly updated and expanded butter's possibilities. From compound, savory, sweet, and spicy, her freshly made butters aim to please. I don't know about you, but I've never really seen butter this versatile before, and now so feasible. With online shopping, just visit PreciousTreasuresGourmetFoods.com because at Precious Treasures, Tori is working on the best artisan gourmet foods to every table. Remember, guys, true love is like butter. there's no substitute for the real thing. J. Harmon exclusively in the Gallery of Boca. J. Harmon captures the essence of really creative and captivating mind. J. Harmon brings light into the darkness on majority of his pieces, using a negative background to highlight the details of some of his looks. I know some artists use white canvases, but he thrives on a black canvas. And here's the kicker. He only uses pencil, colored pencil, graphite pencil, and pencil for his art pieces. Yes, I know it's hard to fathom that these beautiful pieces came from pencil, but yes, they did. And the only way you can experience J. Harmon is if you come to the Gallery of Boca. J. Harmon, an unconventional artist with a unique story behind every canvas.
AMP Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock nonstop to promote over 500 shows and businesses with added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact AMP Media Productions at 866-224-5422.
Here at the Brooklyn Cafe, our subjects range from hot topics, feel-good stories, and back-in-the-day nostalgia. With guest personalities and business features, you just never know who you'll see on the show. With our brew crew on set, we always air live to inspire, educate, and create. Make it a date and have a day at the cafe. Join Don and Freddie every weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. and for lunch every weekday from 12 to 2. Amplify your voice. Call us at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at brooklyncafe.tv.
Looking for a place to get your ice cream fix? Look no further than Cold Stone Creamery. At Cold Stone, we make our ice cream fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you can put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon, and remember, it's always a great day for ice cream.
I am so glad today we got an early start. Where are we headed anyway?
Who knows? Wherever this glorious day takes us, and we'll take Don Pablo along too. Rich and flavorful with low acidity and notes of caramel. No matter where you're going or where you end up, Don Pablo never disappoints.
Excuse me, is that Don Pablo coffee?
Sure is.
Do you have any more?
Sure do. Baby, hop in.
No matter where life takes you, Don Pablo Coffee is always there to pick you up.
Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Josh Square and Josh JP there on the board, right? So I'm thinking a Josh, what do you call a 3? Josh Try.
Cubed.
Josh Cubed.
Cubed.
Yes, because I'm going to include feet over here. You should be, the way you kick the equipment around. Listen, I want to let you know, starting tomorrow morning, we have a new segment. Coffee and donuts. Mini coffee and donuts. Mini coffee and donuts.
Mini
yes.
donuts and coffee.
The what she said. And we will be giving away money, coupons.
Discounts to Mini Donut World.
What is that? I can't read it.
His new occupation. Folding
Ay, Dios
panties.
mío. Oh, you got it in? You're in?
He's that kind of
We got a
guy.
lot of news for you to share tomorrow. You don't want to miss tomorrow morning show. But this section of the show is brought to you by Mini Donuts. What's the phone number? 'Cause I
Mini
can't-
Donut World, located in Cooper City. Give them a call, or you can find them on Instagram and Facebook at Mini Donut World, at Mini Donut World. They're located in Cooper City. This is great for corporate events, corporate thank yous, parties, events, birthday parties. They're teeny, bite-sized donuts, and they will do logos. So if HHK wants to give out Christmas gifts or they want to do promotions, they can put the HHK logo on all the donuts. If the cafe wants to send out a box of thank yous, they can put one cafe donut in and send out regular donuts, or they also have adult infused. Now I need to clarify the adult infused because people get a little confused. They are not infused with the alcohol until you infuse it. So it comes like on the side in a little pipette that's in the donut like
Where's
a
my
straw.
pipettes?
So you can choose to infuse the donut, you can choose to take it out and not infuse it. All of the donuts are made without any adult beverages. The adult beverages are in a little straw pipette that goes right in it if you so choose. So contact Mini Donut World, 954-369-2301. They will deliver. So you just got to give them a call, and they have DIYs, they have all kinds of flavors. I'm still wondering what my favorite flavor is.
All of them, from what I
I'm
can
still thinking
tell.
the key lime. Yes, hence
All of
why
them.
my jeans do not fit.
And they have, that's okay. And they have plenty of donuts to pick from. Tell them you heard it on a Brooklyn Cafe, and they'll give you a coupon or they give you a break. They give you something.
Mini
So give 'em
donuts
a
and
call.
coffee tomorrow.
Yes, we have a new segment. It's called the Mini Donut Cam.
I want to do a commercial on how do you eat your donut. So when Anna comes in on Friday, I want her to film people eating their donut. Because you eat your donut differently than I do.
I didn't like that the first time.
How do you eat your donut? Because you eat it in one bite. I pick mine apart.
But I'm a big guy.
Other
What am I
people
supposed to
bite
do?
into
Take
it.
little mouse
Justin,
bites?
how do you eat your donut?
I think those donuts, it was a 2-biter for me.
It's a 2-biter.
A 2-biter?
Yeah.
You're a 6-foot guy. How can you 2-biter?
I don't know. I don't want to feel too overindulgent.
That's what it is.
It's like a whole
I feel
mouthful.
like I have some control.
And Justin, they're all saying they're all watching you from your office to bring back donuts. So I guess that's it. He'll do that.
He will do that. All right, we're talking to Justin about different tax issues and ramifications. If you have any questions, you can give him a call or contact him at jmooney@hhnk.com.
Yes.
But we also want to talk about planning for personal, for when we all pass away at some point. What do we need to do to put our wills and estates in place so we don't go to probate, so the government's not taking our money?
Yeah.
You can help do that as well.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is, you know, as you mentioned Wayne Henry before, and planning that we're all gonna pass away at some point. I think the biggest thing about doing estate planning is it gives you peace of mind. I've worked with estates before that there's no will, and everyone's wondering, you know, what did dad or what did mom really want? Like, you know, we're having to go by what the Florida laws say with distribution. But by putting a will together, it lets either your spouse and or your kids know what you want to have happen to your body, if you want to be cremated or buried, how you want your property divided up, if you want to, you know, who you want pets to go to, where you want, you know, charitable bequests to go to. It's a lot of that. It's the peace of mind that it brings, knowing that, you know, I know what I want, and I'm able to put it in writing, and it's going to tell my children what they should do. And at the same time, it's estate planning isn't all about what happens after death. We do a lot of pre-death planning with drafting healthcare surrogate documents, durable power of attorneys, pre-need guardians. All of these documents are meant to provide a backup in case you become incapacitated, that your healthcare decisions are being made or all your bills are being paid, that they can go to the bank and pull out funds for your benefit to pay for your healthcare, your needs, anything to make sure that you're taken care of while you're incapacitated, either mentally or just temporarily out of service, so to speak.
Well, let's go worst case scenario. If you do not have any of these documents in place, what does Florida law say will happen to your estate?
So it says most of the time, let's say it's there's a surviving spouse and your children that you have with that spouse, it's going to go, everything's going to go to your spouse. If you have no spouse and all you have is 3 kids, everything's going to be split up equally among those 3 kids. So it's Florida bases what is called intestacy law, which means where you don't have a will. They base it off of general principles of what they think most people would want to have happen when they die, which is, I care about my spouse. It is the paramount thing to me. And then secondarily, my children. And then, if I don't have a spouse, I want everything split up among my children. If you don't have any kids, you don't have a spouse, then it's going to go to your parents. If they're not living, it goes to your siblings. If you have no siblings that are alive, it goes to their children. And beyond that, if you don't have anyone else, it will go to the state of Florida.
So there is a track of where the monies will go. It just does not automatically go to the state.
Right. No, it's not like if you don't have any kids,
the state gets it.
The state gets it. If you don't have any kids or any close family, blood relatives, or by marriage, then yeah, the state is likely going to get it. I'd recommend if that is your situation, you could look at what charities you're involved with or giving to your friends. Like if you have no family alive and you just have a lot of close friends and you die, they're not going to get anything. Even if you just write down on a piece of paper, when I die, such and such, it has to meet the formalities of Florida law.
Well, so what is the probate issue? Because it seems that Florida law has this covered if you're in this quintessential family unit.
Yeah.
What is the probate problem? Because you hear all the time that estates are held up in probate, you can't get it out to maybe one of the siblings of the lost parent signs off on it, and it sits in this holding pattern. Can you explain probate?
Yeah, so generally the probate process is, if there's a will, you have the personal representative or executor appointed. They carry out the task of gathering all the assets, letting all the creditors know that the person died, and then if the creditors file a claim, you pay all the claims timely. And at the end of the process, which can be from generally 5 months to a year, then you do a final accounting of all the things that were paid during administration, and then you distribute everything out. There's problems where certain documents need to be signed off on, and most of the time I see siblings that are arguing over things. It's just the will wasn't clear as to certain property, so they can't agree on certain things. And there's no avenue for the personal representative to kind of pick. So sometimes they'll end up just selling the property and splitting everything equally that way. But the biggest thing that holds up the probate process is an unclear document, is having a will that either wasn't done by someone who practices estate planning in their day-to-day, or it's done through an online service which just provides you with a document where you just fill out some blanks. I think the biggest thing that I bring to the table when meeting with my estate planning clients is getting to know them and getting to know what they need and what they want. And if they don't know what they want, I ask certain questions that help elicit what their family relationships are like, what they care about for their family, how they want them to be taken care of. You know, do they care about, you know, all the kids getting it outright and they trust them to spend it wisely, or does it want to be held in a, do they want it held in a trust to protect for, you know, outside creditors, bad business deals, divorces, that kind of thing, so that the wealth is kept in the family for generations, depending on how much wealth there is. You know, if there's $10,000, we're not going to create a trust for, you know, a child.
Is there an amount that a trust should be created for?
No, I think that the number one thing for creating a trust, if you're a Florida resident, is I would recommend creating a trust if you have property outside of Florida. So if the probate process is changing title of the assets that are in Florida, which includes, you know, bank accounts. You know, if you have a bank account you started in New York, but you moved down here and it's with Bank of America, the Florida probate process can deal with it. But if you have, you know, a vacation home in New York or California or Texas, then you have to do a probate in this state where you reside, and then you also have to set up what's called an ancillary estate in all those other states where you own real estate. And that can be at least, you know, $5,000 to $10,000 additional cost for each additional state.
So like when your parents passed.
Well, hold on, before we get there.
Yeah.
Frederick Santori, if you have no one to leave your property to, I am now your friend. How you doing? Frederick has one K in it. Santori has a Y.
Does it have a C? Not like TikTok?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has a C.
I know.
Just take it easy. I'm working here. So if you have no one to leave your property to, why leave it to the state? You call me, we'll do some business, and we'll take care of it. Now, the thing in Puerto Rico is not a state.
It's a territory.
It's a whatever. God only knows. Monday is different from Tuesday. So if you have property in Puerto Rico, houses and land, and there's no will, you got to go through the Spanish law?
No, I think it should be whatever the local law is in Puerto Rico, which it still falls under the, you know, the states of the United States. So it's just going to be what the local law is. But you're likely going to need to start up a probate in Puerto Rico as well. There is, you know, you brought up when do you need a trust. This is what I was building up to is if you create a trust, generally it's called a revocable trust, which means you can change it at any point during your life, or it's called a living trust, meaning that it's a living document. It changes. There's lots of, you know, unnecessary fancy terms people like to include on these things, but you create a revocable trust, and then you put all those, you know, your New York property, your Texas property, your California property, your Puerto Rico property. You write up a new deed transferring the property to be in the trust. Then when you die, the successor trustee has all the authority to
But
manage
what if there is
those
no will and the owners died?
Then you would have to go through the probate process and look at the intestacy laws. So every state is different, but most of the time it's going to be, you know, to my spouse and then to my children, if they're not living, to my parents, if not, to my siblings.
So you have to go through probate and establish that you are the heir as a parent, right?
Yes.
And if, like, my brother died and his son is alive, it transfers to him, correct?
Yes. Assuming there's no one else, you know, you have no parents alive and no children.
So it's you, me, and Harry Anthony.
Harry Anthony, yes. But we know that. The only problem is that because the attorneys, what was happening in Puerto Rico, nobody was working. You couldn't get an attorney, much less a judge, to listen to the case. So we've been backpedaling right now and trying to figure out how to keep things afloat. But what I wanted to do when my parents were alive is that I wanted to do a trust to keep the properties intact so they could not be sold. Now, everybody, the three that he's just talking about, because my brother did die, can benefit from whatever monies it makes equally dispersed. But I didn't want the properties, because there's a lot. It's 12 acres.
Yeah.
It's 4 houses. I didn't want them going off and selling properties for whatever reason, because my parents worked, 80 years to keep this in the family. But exactly now, after I've established the probate piece, then I can come see you, even though you're here in Florida, to help me set up the trust for there.
Well, so we would set up a Florida trust, And then we could work with a local attorney in Puerto Rico, because I can't practice in Puerto Rico. They would draft up the necessary deeds that you would sign transferring the property into the trust. And then we could have, so is all the property in your name?
My sister, me, and my nephew.
Okay. Yeah, you could all, you could also do this with an LLC, but we could, for simplicity, if you just owned all the properties by yourself and you wanted to be for the benefit of the family in perpetuity, we would create the trust and say, when you die, you want these properties to be held in trust, and the paramount thing is that the properties aren't sold, and that, the income made from them is used to support the beneficiaries of the trust.
Gotcha.
And they have an office in New York, which I guess would represent Mimi. And Justin can represent you, and Harry Anthony is, I don't know where.
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's the other problem. But anyway, I got to do the probate piece first.
But it's an idea to get planned. So that's a revocable trust. When would people use an irrevocable trust? Because from what you say, it's non-changeable.
Right. So an irrevocable trust is mainly a tool for the estate tax planning. One of the main things that people use is called an irrevocable life insurance trust. So it's hard to go through. It's going to be a little bit too much to go through all the specifics. But at the end of the day, you're able to fund it with money that doesn't count against your $11.7 million. And the trust holds a life insurance policy that is not included in your estate. So if you buy a $5 million life insurance policy that goes into the irrevocable trust, when you die, it's not going to be taxed under your estate.
So that's an extra above and beyond the 11.7.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Diane said she would love donuts, but you make donuts too. So I guess you've got a hard choice to make now, Justin. You're either picking them up or you're going to be making them.
Yeah, I mean, when I make donuts at home, they generally take 16 to 24 hours. I want to let the dough, lose its yeasty flavor and take on these buttery and eggy notes. It's we can do a whole nother show if I ever start a donut business.
A buttery donut note. How do you like that?
That's pretty cool.
You make a brioche dough.
Yeah, like everyone makes a brioche dough.
Yeah.
A lot of people do just yeast donuts or cake donuts, but this has a lot more butter and a lot more eggs, a lot fluffier.
It's funny because our crew, when they have different donuts, because they all stop at their leading fast food place.
Yeah.
And they now taste which ones they like better. Some are cakier than others, which makes me laugh about yours. Yours is eggy and buttery.
Yeah.
Some like the cakey ones, some don't like the cakey ones. It's all interesting, a matter of preference. There's a lot going on with the trust and the estates and probate.
Yeah.
But you can help put all of this in place.
Yes.
I think it's
Do you know
so
a lot of
important.
people don't do it because they're afraid it's very complicated. And him sitting here makes it sound really easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's complicated if you try to do it yourself.
Forget
and
about that.
You'll probably make a mistake.
You'll probably end up giving the stuff away.
Yeah.
And it's really funny you say that because here we're talking about people that die, they don't leave wills and stuff. And who trickles in?
Wayne Henry.
Wayne
Pops on
Henry's
by.
over there. He's over
So
there.
let's take a commercial break. Contact Justin Mooney with any questions. He has the answers, and if not, he will guide you in the right direction on what you need to do next to keep your estate and all of your family members and your needs intact.
And I will take care of it if you don't have it.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you need a strong cup of coffee to get you through your day? Try your very own Brooklyn Cafe Show coffee, the official coffee of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can pick up a bag from us, or two. Contact us at 866-224-5422, or just stop on by. We're at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, Suite 13. Come on in, grab a bag of our signature Brooklyn Cafe coffee. The cafe doors are always open.
Welcome to your vacation staycation.
And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke? If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation, staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Welcome to Mini Donut World, where the donuts are hot, fresh, and delicious, made to order and customizable by you. Gourmet specialty flavors such as apple pie, French toast, campfire, and strawberry cheesecake are always popular. Looking to tailor your appetite? Build your own mini donut. Choose from over 18 flavored donut bases, add on your icing flavor, and choose from over 15 toppings and drizzles. While kids enjoy our design your own kits to take home, our 21 and over customers love our alcohol-infused donuts. Come visit Mini Donut World at 8763 Sterling Road in Cooper City. Have questions or want to place an order? Give us a call at 954-369-2301. We know you will love each bite of our deliciously distinctive mini donuts.
When your property suffers from water, mold, fire, or biohazard, you need a professional remediation company that is fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Rescue Clean 911 offer 24/7 emergency service with 1-hour response times now in your area. Water, mold, fire, biohazard. Call now 1-833-253-2699.
Handling the hard jobs with a soft touch.
Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Do you really not remember conversations when you ask me or you play this game?
What? This section of the show is brought to you by
Dignity Memorial, Southeast Florida. We have an incredible offer, all staff and viewer offer of anyone who works with the cafe, with WNN, with anyone in our viewing and listening area, 20% off any contract in 2021. Wayne Henry just stopped by to drop these off for us. This is amazing. Contracts must be finalized before December 31st. That's amazing. Talk about a Q4 offer. People say to me, what's Q4? Quarter four. You know, I went to UM, so.
What's Q4?
Quarter four.
What is it, U4?
It's always about the fourth quarter. Now, that was the beginning of our show.
Okay, what do we get?
20% off all
Everything?
contracts, everything, except the Neptune Memorial Reef. Correct, Wayne?
Correct, yeah. And it's
Everything
for pre-arrangements only.
Pre-arrangements only.
Which everybody, it's a good idea to pre-arrange. You know, if you're...
Pre-arrangements, I want him to explain, what does pre-arrangements mean?
So it technically means you're arranging your funeral and burial plans before someone's died. That's pre-arrangement.
So it includes
technically.
coffin, cremation, things of that nature?
So, yeah, but it could be an imminent case, and we get a lot of those, unfortunately, where someone's fallen ill, they're not expected to survive much longer. They want to get arrangements in place, before they actually pass away. Technically, that's still considered a pre-arrangement. If the person's passed away, then I can't help them. My license is for pre-arrangements only. In the state of Florida, once the death has occurred, then it's a funeral director helping you. So those pre-arrangement discounts are gone, and you have to pay in full. If you're doing a pre-arrangement, then there are options about different payment plans. Ideally, you would do this decades in advance in conjunction with a plan.
Yeah.
All right. So Justin and I work together. We're referring back and forth all the time, our clients. So ideally, someone would be planning for end-of-life decisions decades in advance. So along with their investments, the wills, trusts, all of that, funeral plans would be included in that. Not only writing down what you want, but funding those things ahead of time. And what we offer is you can lock in today's price. We know that prices are doubling every 10 years or less. So if you're doing this, decades in advance, you're potentially saving your family thousands of dollars. But on top of that, if your plans are in place, the details are decided, and we sit down with you and say, what do you have in mind? You're looking at burial, cremation. We can put a celebration of life. We can put money in there for catering, flowers, limousine for the family, anything you put in there. All of our services and merchandise, we can lock in those prices for you, and they can never go up for your family, even if it's decades later that it's actually used. And we can offer payment plans up to 10 years. So it's beneficial. So we're very eager to sit down, help you look over the options. In my mind, it's a no-brainer. We take the risk over future costs. It's transferable anywhere in the Dignity Memorial Network. We've got almost 2,800 locations throughout North America, including Canada and Puerto Rico. It's transferable in the future if you do move. So it's a no-brainer there. Even cemetery can be transferred to another Dignity Memorial Cemetery. So I would love to sit down with anybody who wants the information, happily to go over, what we can offer. You can do the bare minimum, the bare basics, whatever you put in place, so at least those things are covered for your family. So when the time does come, again, hopefully decades later, your family aren't stuck with deciding what you would have wanted, and it's funded. So they ideally don't have anything to pay or have a lot less to pay. So, not only are we offering, to the savings of future costs, we got 20% off the current costs. So, and it's a great offer. So give me a call, 561-654-9000, me or one of my colleagues. We're licensed in Florida, so we can help cover anyone in Florida. So you've got to be a Florida resident for this offer. Outside of this, the Brooklyn Cafe have also joined the Dignity Memorial Benefit Program. So that gives access to minimum 10% on anything anywhere in our network. So even if you're in another state or somewhere else listening, or if you've got a family member in another state, we can offer those discounts at any Dignity Memorial location. So happy to help there. Just give me a call. I can help you get in touch with our...
You can't combine the offers, right? 10 and 20, 30.
No, the 20 is for Florida. So if you're in Florida, that's a better deal. If you're anywhere outside of Florida, you get 10%.
The 10. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And Neptune Reef right now, they've got 15% discount on 15% down for any placement shape. And the balance 0% interest payment plan over 5 years. So that's something else that's going on this month.
On Friday, because this is a madhouse in here on Fridays, I always wanted to ask you.
I'm glad you're here early, actually, in the week to promote this.
I know, because we can never talk to him, because there are 14,000 people here. If a family member does their thing, and names shall remain out of this equation, and the other part of that family member does not want to talk because they, denial, whatever reason, whatever legitimate reason, the other person can do arrangements for that person, correct?
Yes.
And children too, so that at the end when you do an arrangement, you can always present it to that person and say, listen, if you want to look this over, okay, and this is what we're planning to do, if something, God forbid, happens to you, and they can change these things if they're not happy with what they see. Is that correct?
Yeah, so for a funeral plan, there's the beneficiary is the person that you're doing it for, the person that, that's going to pass away. So that's the beneficiary, and then there's the purchaser. Many times it's the same person. If you're doing it for yourself, you're going to be the beneficiary and the purchaser. But you can be the purchaser for someone else. There needs to be a vested interest. So usually it's for a parent, or you have power of attorney. Could be a lawyer. There needs to be some sort of vested interest. But you can be a purchaser for someone else. And we get a lot of people call up and say, my parents are in their 90s. They haven't done anything. I know it's going to be my responsibility. It's not going to be much longer. I want to explore getting arrangements in place ahead of time. But I have a lot of wives who are eager to do this. Their husbands, don't want to talk about it. It's like, oh, just throw me in the ditch. I don't care. Just do whatever you want. So wives can put and I get a lot of wives doing their arrangements and their husbands' arrangements for them. You can put it in place and it's done.
Come on, guys, keep your condoms on and make your own arrangements. I mean, really, we got to do it all?
Did you just say keep your condoms
We
on?
talked about that at the beginning of this show. What is it with guys? They just don't want to make arrangements?
Again with the
again with that, I know.
Listen, we're back to, if you don't have anybody, you put me, I would take care of all this for you. All of it. Don't
I have
leave
to
it
tell
the
you,
state.
this deal, I'm actually going to take a picture of it and send it to people that really, truly should be making their pre-arrangements that I know right now in my heart are burying their head, and the writing is right there on the wall.
I don't understand why anybody would do that, because first of all, Wayne's a nice guy. All kidding aside.
Wayne's a
easy
great
to
guy.
talk to, and he's not going to force you to do nothing.
Wayne is a great guy.
So you don't have to be afraid of that aspect. When I spoke to him the first time I met him, I'm going to tell you, I was a little nervous. I was sweating a little profusely. And then after 10 minutes of talking to him, he made this really, really simple. Now, I met Wayne because my son was going to plant me under a tree in a little cage like this and cremate me. And I said, what? Say what? So I came to meet him. I said, that ain't happening. That is not happening. So if you don't want to go like you don't want to go, then do the right thing. Give him a call, or better yet, tell your significant other, tell your kids to call him.
20% off. That's tremendous.
It could be a lot of money.
And I've never seen this much of a discount offered.
That's because we're the Brooklyn Cafe.
I really work to get this for you guys. It's unique. It's only for Brooklyn Cafe
Do you have this in a
viewers and listeners.
PDF so we can post it?
Yeah, you have it.
We have this already? Okay.
I think we should make
and
a
this
painting on the
will
wall.
this will strictly end. I'm warning you now. This will strictly end the end of the year, and it's never to be repeated again. So this is your window, guys. Give me a call.
Can I get this
done.
packet and put it at
right here.
an outside? No, I need a whole lot more than that. At
many you
Miami
want? No
Dolphin
problem.
Stadium, and put one on every seat.
Where? What stadium?
Miami Dolphins, where they play. You think I'm kidding? Watch. If the phone call comes, I want you to tell me. I got an idea. Everybody wants to do something for the community.
They just need to broadcast.
They're not going to put one in every seat. But everybody wants to do something for the community. So if you're doing to raise money, awareness, or anything else, this is like a gift.
Yesterday we talked to Todd Schumacher, and he has this incredible movie coming out, a documentary that's going to be at the Port St. Lucie Film Festival this weekend. And he told me yesterday, he said, I made my pre-arrangements with Dignity 12 years ago when they had first given him like 2 weeks to live, 6 months to live, and here he is today 12 years later, and so
Still alive.
thankful, still alive, that he made his plans with Dignity. So he came and he told us that yesterday, which was really great.
Fantastic.
I know,
Yep.
and it's funny because he told me the story, and then I told him the story about my parents, and he was like, you got to be kidding me. It's a small world. About how Dignity stepped in and helped me.
But his story is just so compelling.
Tremendous.
So I don't
Tremendous.
know if you guys have plans this weekend, but the Treasure Coast International Film Festival starts this Friday up at Port St. Lucie at the AMC movie theaters. And they've got a lot of great films, foreign films. They've got people flying in from all over the world to promote their films that we may actually be working with them over the weekend.
On Sunday, yeah. The cafe may be up there on Sunday.
So give Wayne a call, 561-654-9000. Let's post this on the internet and start sharing this out.
Yeah. I mean, if I can't help you, I'll happily get you in touch with one of my colleagues. But pretty much everybody should get this done earlier than later. Once it's in place, it's future-proof. You're going to need it eventually. It's only going to get more expensive for you. We take the risks over future costs, but it's a no-brainer.
So Justin, what's this like for you? Because you're young, you're only in your 30s, you've got a wife, a new baby on the way, and this is what you do for a living. So do you say to your wife, listen, honey, I know you're pregnant, but I want to put my pre-arrangements in place? Or do you call, talk to, because I know you guys work together. That's how we had the pleasure of meeting you.
No, I think it's not something that's uncomfortable really for us, because my wife, she works for Trustbridge Hospice. So, you know, she deals with death all the time, so we're a very morbid couple. But no, it's something that I think that it's very easy to talk to her about. I'm like, hey, you know, I don't want there to be any communication issues, because once I'm dead, I can't explain to you what I meant. So if I go ahead and go through with all this stuff and I know what I'm signing off on, you won't have that question. And it takes that stress and that burden off of you of having to be like, well, you know, a lot of people will question, am I doing what my spouse or my parent wanted? And you know, like I give peace of mind. Wayne does that when he sets up these plans, and I've done a dry run through the process, and I think it's very well crafted, the software that they use, and Wayne's great about interviewing you and getting to ask you the questions that really show what you want to do. Even if you haven't really thought about it, it's something that will prime you to think about what you want, and you can come back and sign up with them a week later. Just do it before December 31st.
Yeah, and we have lifetime flexibility as well, and we get a lot of people that say, you know, I did this a few years ago, but I think I might want to change things or remind me what I did. We can alter things as well, so it's not 100% set in stone. Obviously, we want to keep historic prices where we can, but anyway, we work through it. So we've had people have done a completely different plan. Whatever you've paid can be used towards a new plan. The only thing we can't do is go back and put new things in your contract at historic prices, but we'll work through it. It's better to change things to what you want if your circumstances have changed than not. So, you know, it's always going to be better to do it rather than not.
Communication is the key. If you give them a call, maybe you work a deal, you work something else, you make some changes here and there. I actually worked with Trustbridge a few years ago. Yeah. Actually, good company. You know, it's really funny that you watch the news, what happened with that doctor that was flying in California from I think it was Vegas or something, I don't know. He was flying his little mini jet and it crashed. And the UPS worker, 28-year-old kid, was minding his own business and he was doing his UPS route and the plane landed right on him. It's unbelievable. And they could not believe. I mean, you know, my mother used to say, my dad used to say, always be careful when you walk out the door, because this challenge of life is outside that door. But can you imagine going to work and a plane falls on you? I mean, you just don't know what can happen today. That's the point of this whole thing.
Wow. And I love the fact that Justin and Wayne work together, because it makes it so much easier to have a great team on your side to do all of the pre-needs, all your pre-planning, and know that they can communicate with each other on your benefit for whatever you need. And that, when you know you've got a good team in place, there's enough stresses in the world. To have that great team and communication in place is spectacular.
And then, you know, I don't wish it on anybody. I had to bury Mom in the worst conditions of my life. No light, no power. Hurricane passed yesterday. It was the worst. And Dignity stood up for me. They were there and everything. They couldn't even get her in the ground because the hurricane had put rubbish all over the place. So they made a crib for her and they kept her there for 6 months. Until you go through it, which I wish nobody would, but you're going to end up having to one way or the other. And the expense, as Diane is saying, nobody understands the amount of money that it takes to do these things. Thank God that Mom had the brains to do it. We didn't even know she had the plans in place. And they were paying for it, apparently, and you know, it made life a whole lot easier. Nothing's easy during that time, but it made it a whole lot easier.
Yep. Awesome. Let's take a commercial break. Give Wayne a call, give Justin a call, give us a call, 888-994-4995. I feel like we're in such good hands. Isn't that a commercial? The good
That's
hands,
Allstate.
people. We're not Allstate, but I feel like we got you covered. Stay tuned. That's another commercial. We'll be right back.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims. Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.wegetYouPaid.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Proudly distilling out of West Palm Beach, Florida, Lost Harbor Spirits is a true treasure waiting to be discovered. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Looking for a place to get your ice cream fix? Look no further than Cold Stone Creamery. At Cold Stone, we make our ice cream fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you can put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon, and remember, it's always a great day for ice cream. Do you need a strong cup of coffee to get you through your day? Try your very own Brooklyn Cafe Show coffee, the official coffee of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can pick up a bag from us, or two. Contact us at 866-224-5422, or just stop on by. We're at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, Suite 13. Come on in, grab a bag of our signature Brooklyn Cafe coffee. The cafe doors are always open.
Hi friends, it's Bree and Allie from Kids and Capes. Tune in Saturday mornings on the Brooklyn Cafe Kids Television Network at 10 o'clock, where we share fun and ideas. And remember, peace, love, and kindness.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
What are you laughing at?
your phone, your glasses.
I got stuff everywhere.
I feel like we're at home
I'm
in
a
our living room
freaking
watching
mess.
TV, coming back from commercial break, and he's like, "Oh wait, the show's back on. Let me get going."
Well,
This
people are talking to me. I got Lisette, I got Andrea, I got, Diana.
This segment of the show brought to you by HH&K, Hinman, Howard, and Kattell. HHK.com. You can find Justin there. You can also email Justin at jmooney@HHK.com, a new sponsor and friend of the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
HHK.
HHK.
Don't get it twisted.
Don't put an ampersand. It's HHK.com.
HHK, because you say HH&K.
It's no ampersand.
That is incorrect. Take
HHK.
two.
HHK. No ampersand.
Very good.
Got that?
Get ready, because on Friday we have this new game coming
Oh my
to
gosh.
studio.
Wayne, you're going to be here Friday?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Are you going to stay, or you have to go see a
No,
client?
I'll
You
be
got to
here.
go
Yeah.
visit a
he's
morgue?
he's like always, do not break in case of emergency. It's like
He's
Wayne
like a
is.
cigarette in a test tube.
If you need Wayne, do not call in case of emergency.
Break in case of emergency.
Correct. That's Wayne.
But on Friday, what do we got coming?
We've got a game coming in here. It's called the 2020 game, and it is absolutely hilarious. There's if you're in quarantine,
seen that.
it's collect points. It's so much fun. So they're coming on Friday to play the 2020 game, the coronavirus game. If you, what do you have to do? Collect 270 electoral votes, and you too can be the president in 2020. It's a hilarious game.
Now, you sang with the daughter of the game, the owner of the game.
Did I? What?
Zachardulis.
Remember Nicole Zachardulis?
Her mother owns the game.
Her mother created the game during one of their many quarantines of COVID. She said to me, I can't take it anymore. My boyfriend's got it. I've got it. Nicole had it. The sons had it. She finally said, all of you leave me alone. I'm going to create a game. And she did. And now the game is available on Amazon, and they're going to be here on Friday playing the 2020 game.
And we're putting a camera on the board, and we're going to break up into 6 teams.
Because 6 players can play.
Because 6 players can play.
It's like when you go bowling. It's your turn up. We come back to the set. You take another roll and take another turn.
We had a meeting yesterday, and the lady was talking about bowling.
Yes.
I used to own 6 bowling alleys in New York. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah. I used to own one in the Bronx, which was the moneymaker. That was a hot house because they used to gamble on the lanes.
But it's going to be fun. So come on Friday, Justin. The more, the merrier, the 2020 game. And then we've got pearls coming, tutus and pearls.
Yes, Wayne, I don't know if you want to in on this deal. I'm having a pink tutu made
No thanks.
for Breast Awareness Month. Wayne.
Oh, I see. I'm not wearing one.
Well, we have to wear it.
No.
You could put on shorts.
No.
We have to contribute to the cause.
So I will ask her again to make you. If she said, yeah, anything you want.
She said she would make it.
You're gonna. Everything goes better with tutus and
My
pearls.
partner puts me through the worst circumstances.
I got to tell you, though, you know what, though? It's nice to be out and networking. We've got a guest joining us via phone today. We've got Alexa Carlin of Women Empower X joining us for a virtual interview tonight because she is one of our first clients that we worked with 6 years ago, before WEX ever started, before she became an international sensation on women empowerment. So she's going to be joining us via phone tonight, talking about her book launch called Adaptable. And there's a launch party tomorrow night I get to go to down in Fort Lauderdale. So that'll be a whole lot of fun also.
We
Got to
actually
see some
covered
old
the
friends.
first event down there, no?
It'll be, it'll be nice to see those old friends I haven't seen in 6 years. That's where we met Lady N, and we met a lot of great people. We met Alicia Curry there for the first time, Michelle Dempsey, all of these people that had shows with us for many, many years afterwards from that event.
I know, that's the Women Empowerment Circle, as I like to call it.
It's when it first started.
That was 6 years ago.
Isn't it hard to believe, guys, that women empowerment just started like 6 years ago?
No, it's been recognized.
It's just been recognized
in the last 6 years.
But that's crazy if you think about that.
Do you see the Apollo movie that they talk about the 5 black women that got us into space? It was 5 scientists, women, that figured out the problem and got us there. It was the whole movie's based on that, right?
Hidden Figures, no?
But it happened. What was it, 69?
Hidden Figures, yeah.
Hidden Figures, right.
Yeah.
And it happened, right? It wasn't just said. And this goes back over and over again on Facebook. The designer, a female, she became a whistleblower all of a sudden. She wasn't too happy, but she talked about things. They grounded that spaceship which I heard through the grapevine they're going to ground the other one too.
Really?
I don't want to say nothing because I don't want a lawsuit, but I heard from a very reliable source that the programs have issues and they're cutting corners to get there.
But it's nice to see people are out and networking again and doing their thing. What are you guys out networking, Wayne? You met Justin through one of your networking groups, correct?
Yeah, we've been doing this mainly online through Zoom. We have 2 weeks from now, we're doing our quarterly breakfast networking in downtown Delray.
Yep.
Is that through Zoom?
Everyone eats at home and you go, here, I'm having a bagel, you're having a donut?
We're mainly Zoom. We just decided, just moving forward, we'll stay doing Zoom because it's convenient, but we try to meet in person once a quarter at least. So we're having breakfast at Penelope's Diner, just in front of the Delray movie theater, just in that same plaza. So that's where we meet, and we have a table outside, and we're having breakfast in 2 weeks.
And this is through one of the chambers?
Through Delray Chamber.
Oh, that's nice. And this is yours. They break up into smaller groups. Is that what they do?
So the Delray Chamber has an option of joining. They call it a leads group. So they've got several different leads groups. So we're one of those.
That's interesting.
And I have to ask before we wrap up the show, when Wayne and Justin work together, tell us the benefit of a client calling one of you prior to the other, and how you can bring this all together to benefit all families.
Yeah. So for me, depends on the type of call that I get, if it's imminent, things like that. But even the case, there was one woman that came and saw me. Her father passed away unexpectedly, and she had no clue about anything. She was going to get stuck in probate, so I was like, give Justin a call. But a lot of people are coming to plan, and I often ask them, okay, you're doing this, great. What else do you need? And a lot of times they're like, well, we don't have a will. Do you know anybody? Or, and they don't actually know what they don't know. So it's great to be able to direct them to different professionals I know are going to help them.
Yeah, and if they're already planning with Wayne, then I think they're open to planning with me. And when I have clients come in and they're thinking about what happens if they become incapacitated, need their healthcare documents or their power of attorney, or they're thinking about their imminent death via doing a will or a trust, then I also let them know that Wayne is able to help them in that regard and put their mind at rest. And also if someone comes in from Wayne, I offer those clients a free consultation or free document review, which I also offer to any friends of the show as well.
Very nice. I need to review my documents. I put in place back in the 90s when that cap was $600,000 for taxes, and you thought, all right, by the time it happens, you hope you're going to have that. Now that's how long it's been since I've done my documents. I even have guardianship for my kids, and my daughter's almost 30. So I guess it's time for me to review those documents.
You got to update them.
Right? It's got to be 20 years since I've done it, since they were young enough. How often should people review their documents?
Generally, people say every 3 to 5 years, but another thing to add to that is if you have any births in the family, any deaths in the family, or any divorces in the family, it's a good time to review who you plan on giving money to or who you've designated as a fiduciary.
And the new one is health, because now with the way things are, if something's going on, you want to make sure everything's taken care of. So there's a lot of, it's like every time there's a change, you should look into it.
Every time there's
This is coming from a guy who grew up in a family that didn't understand this language at all.
It's totally different, right? It's just education and sharing resources. And I definitely have to introduce both of you to Todd Schumacher. This is his book.
He's actually watching.
The Blessed Overcomer, and it is his journey of faith and believing in God and everything that he has been through with he and his wife. And also they've got a movie coming out. The only time you will have to pay for it is this Friday night. After that, Dead Man Running will be available to everybody on YouTube, and that comes out November 17th, which is a spectacular story of his journey overcoming and healing, and definitely someone I have to introduce both of them to, because what he's overcome and everything that he's put in place for himself and his family, he's a godparent to many, many people in our community. So that'll be a nice introduction. Just a kind of a feel-good story.
It was. That was a nice show yesterday with him and Natasha.
Natasha.
Another, and, you get throwback. Sometimes you get lucky and you put pieces together and it sort of works nice, like one showing up today.
And Justin, I think we have to meet Diane.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great.
Diane, next time, come on in with Justin.
Yeah.
What does she do at your office?
She handles the front desk. She is one of the administrators in our Florida office. She's great. She fields all my calls and helps me with scheduling a lot of the time.
She said that you have an office in Pennsylvania, so I guess.
Yeah, there's I think 14 offices all along this coast.
So they can take care of you, Mimi, and Harry Anthony.
Well, that's what you need. And you need that versatility because people move all over the place. So.
Yeah.
So, well, welcome to our Brooklyn Cafe Show family. Again, Justin, tell everyone how they can find you for questions.
Yeah, they can call me at 561-276-1008, or they can email me at jmooney@hhk.com.
And Wayne, I know you'll be here on Friday, but Fridays we always have a lot of fun. So in the meantime, how do people reach you for this promotion, which is spectacular?
Yeah, just text or call me is the best. 561-654-9000 is my cell. My email's just my name, wayne.henry@dignitymemorial.com. But like I said, eager to provide information to anybody who wants it, and that should be everybody. Everybody needs it. Happy to give you the information about options to consider. I, of course, give you, the current costs. We can offer 20% off. I can also give you an idea of potential future costs. And we have that data coming from Social Security and other things that's helpful for you to plan. And hopefully you can make an informed decision and put those things in place.
It's funny, I went to the movie theater, Del Rey, on Sunday. For $6 I got in. And they do this for every show because they're getting back on their feet and everything else. It was clean, it was beautiful. And people ask me, well, why didn't you go to cinema? I'm going to spend $25 over there, right? If not more. So the same thing with Wayne. Why wouldn't you take advantage of 20% off, 10% off, 15%, whatever it is? Because you're going to end up having to use it anyway. The younger you are doing this, the cheaper it is. So you have to pay it, but at the end of the game, you pay a lot less by doing it in small spurts. So it's a no-brainer to me, even though I don't have much of a brain.
You have much of a brain.
I tell you, I don't understand some of the conversations I have with people. Fear factor seems to be the one hesitant move.
Yep.
So
I think a lot of it's procrastination. They think,
Sure.
Well, send in somebody else, like a spouse that cares. My kids are all over me.
Just the thing I caution to people is, we're not guaranteed to die of old age. And, lots of shit happens, and it's future-proof. So once it's in place, it's in place. If, heaven forbid, something happens unexpectedly, then you're not leaving your family in a crisis situation, financially and emotionally. At least this is taken care of. Hopefully, with an estate plan, those can cover your family. Plan for the worst-case scenario, and hopefully, you die 100.
Well, I gotta tell you, I got some bad news yesterday, right before I got on the air. Juanita Figueroa, which is my second mom. She was there for me when Mom wasn't, vice versa, and I grew up with her. And Corpy is my brother from another mother. She passed away yesterday. She was 78, and I did not know that it occurred until I was on the air. And people were texting me from New York. My phone was exploding because, she was a somebody. She was a mom to a lot of people. She was a soul that we're going to miss. And, it's funny, Wayne is here today. He helped me with Gloria, my aunt, when I lost my Uncle Willie. And so we try to fix that whole scenario as well. So things do happen. They do happen. And again, Corpy, if you're watching, if you're not watching, I'm going to call you later. She will be missed. And again, your loss is our loss. And, we love you.
On that note, give Wayne a call. Give Justin a call. Make all the arrangements you can make for your family and your loved ones. So when the time comes, and as Wayne always says, it will come at some point, everyone can just remember you for the good times and not have to worry about planning for the sad times. Thank you guys so much for joining us. More to come tomorrow. We've got mini donuts and coffee. How do you eat your donut? Coming tomorrow morning?
Yes, and I got some surprises in the morning, so tune in. I got some giveaways.
All right. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe, be kind to each other, and we'll see you tomorrow.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that glaze across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and we could fly